Welcome back to the deep dive. Today we are really getting into the devices you've actually invited into your home. We're talking about your smart devices and the quiet surveillance that they're always performing.
Right.
And this isn't some conspiracy theory. We're looking at hard data from our sources about this world of, well, passive data collection.
It's the central tension of modern life, isn't it?
Sure.
I mean, we love the convenience.
Agree.
The ability to just ask for something and have it happen. But that convenience, it requires constant monitoring. It's the trade-off.
And looking at the source material, one thing just jumps right out.
What's that?
The sheer depth of the collection. It is so much greater than I think any average user really understands.
Oh, for sure. They're always listening, always sensing, always sending data back and forth.
Even when you think they're off, just sitting there idle.
Exactly. So our mission today is to really pull back the curtain on that. We need to get into what they're collecting, how they're doing it, and why this constant stream of information gathering actually matters to you.
Because the picture they're painting of you is incredibly detailed.
And it's not just for better movie recommendations.
Okay, let's unpack that. So we're surrounded by these things. Smart speakers, plugs, thermostats, lights, this whole ecosystem.
Right.
Before we even get into what the data is, let's talk about the volume, the sheer amount of information.
The chatter it's just constant.
It has to be.
Yeah, the research we analyzed, it actually put a number on. They found that 97% of all the smart home devices they tested
Okay.
exchange over 3 million network messages
3 million?
daily.
Wait, daily? That sounds like a bug. Or maybe just, a lot of pings to stay connected.
That's the critical question, right?
Yeah.
Some of that is necessary, sure. Just saying, I'm still here. But the sheer volume, it confirms these devices are doing way more.
They're not just sitting there.
No, they're tracking usage, they're sending environmental data, logging when you're there, when you're not. They're documenting all your little habits.
So that constant traffic is really just a stream of status updates about me.
But about you and your home, yeah. It's
Yeah.
building this real-time behavioral fingerprint.
Yeah.
It's about your routines.
When I wake up, when I leave.
When you come home, and yes, if the lights flicker and the thermostat kicks on at 3 a.m.,
3 a.m. snack run.
it registers that pattern. That's now part of your profile. And that profile is incredibly valuable.
Okay, this is where we need to get really specific. We hear data collection all the time, but what do we actually mean by passive data collection?
Right. So passive data collection is basically, it's the automated, constant gathering of information without you doing anything.
That got me saying, hey, assistant.
Exactly. You don't have to give a command. You don't even have to be aware it's happening. It's just sensing the environment and monitoring behavior.
So the key difference is active versus passive. I type a search, that's active.
Precisely. This is just happening in the background because you exist near the device.
Oh.
We're talking about everywhere sensors.
Across everything.
Smartphones, wearables, appliances, speakers. It's 247 monitoring of the physical world.
So it's less like an investigation and more like a...
Think of it like a very, very nosy roommate. One who never sleeps, never blinks, and takes meticulous notes on everything you do.
That's a terrifyingly clear image. Okay, let's get into the devices themselves because it's so much more than just your phone.
We have to start with the most obvious one, the smart speaker.
The always-on microphone.
Right, always waiting for that wake word. But here's a detail from the source material that is genuinely terrifying.
Okay.
Even when you use the physical mute switch, the little button that's supposed to electrically disconnect the microphone.
Yeah, the one I trust.
Some of those speakers, according to the sources, keep listening.
Wait, how is that even possible? I hit mute, the light turns red. I assume it's dead.
Well, the sources suggest that even in that muted state, some systems maintain this, like minimal low-power processing.
To listen for what?
Maybe for a hardware command to reactivate, or just to monitor background sound levels in preparation for when you do unmute it.
The point is, muted doesn't mean what I think it means.
It completely destroys that illusion of control.
And it's not just the listening devices. My thermostat doesn't have a mic, but it's still part of this.
Absolutely. Smart thermostats, lights, even those robot vacuums, they are crucial for tracking presence. A mix of thermal sensors, motion detection, usage logs. They know when you're home, when you leave. And when they cross-reference that with, say, the time your TV or your game console powers on,
They can confirm my late-night binge-watching sessions.
then go.
And then we get to the most powerful ones, the wearables and the smartphones.
They're the ultimate personal surveillance tools. I mean, they track
Yeah.
location, movement, heart rate, ambient sound.
Everything.
Yeah. There was a quote in the source that just nails it. Your phone knows more about your life than your therapist.
Because it's objective biometric data 24/7.
Exactly. It links how you're feeling physiologically to where you are and what time it is.
Which brings us to how this data gets used, and it goes way beyond just selling me ads.
Right.
Let's talk about the mental health angle.
This is one of the most compelling and also contentious uses. Your wearables and your phone are quietly tracking all these markers related to mental wellness.
Like what?
Sleep quality, heart rate stability, your daily step count, even how often you're actually interacting with people versus just, passively scrolling.
And the point of collecting all these tiny behavioral changes is what?
It's for early detection, detecting a shift in your mental state, the onset of depression, maybe, or a risk of relapse.
So the technology can then do something.
The goal is what the sources call adaptive interventions. So the tech might give you a little nudge, a notification, a prompt to call a friend. Maybe it changes the lighting color in your room.
All without you having to say, I feel bad today.
Right. It's supposed to be preventative.
Okay, but we have to ask the question, is that helpful or is it horrifying? When your Fitbit knows you're spiraling before your friends do or before you even admit it to yourself?
That's the core issue. The sources raise huge concerns about context.
The why?
Exactly. The data points might be rightless sleep, lower heart rate variability, but is it because of depression? Or did you just pull an all-nighter to finish a project? The device doesn't know.
And when that sensitive data gets shared,
The risk of it being used against you for things like insurance or just being flat out wrong, it becomes immense.
that tension, the convenience versus the risk, that's the whole privacy paradox, right? We accept the surveillance, but our attempts to control it just don't work.
They really don't. And the first problem is the off-switch myth.
That passive means it stopped collecting.
Right. It hasn't. These devices need to be in a low-power state to work at all. They still need to listen or sense movement or respond to the network. All of that generates logs and traffic.
And what about encryption? I think most of us assume, okay, it's collecting data, but at least it's encrypted. It's safe.
That's a huge misconception. Encryption doesn't solve the metadata problem.
Okay, so break that down for us. What's metadata and how does it beat encryption?
Sure. So encryption scrambles the content of your message.
Well, the words you type, the pictures you send.
The juicy stuff.
Right, but metadata is the data about the data. It's the envelope, not the letter. It shows who you talk to, when you talk to them, for how long.
Ah,
So even if the content of your late-night online shopping spree is scrambled, the metadata still reveals that at 3 a.m., you spent 45 minutes sending a ton of data back and forth with, an online novelty sock vendor.
so the pattern of my behavior is totally exposed, even if the specifics are hidden.
Absolutely. Metadata reveals routines. It's often more revealing than the content itself.
And the biggest reason this is all allowed to happen is, what? A lack of oversight.
Complete lack of oversight. We are in the Wild West. There are zero formal industry-wide standards for what passive mode even means.
So every company just makes up its own rules.
Exactly. Which leaves you, the user, with no way to compare or hold them accountable. It's basically confusing by design. So let's move from the design problems to the real-world dangers. What are the immediate consequences of this constant collection?
The most direct one is accidental recording. It happens all the time.
Ow.
A smart device gets triggered by something in the background, a TV ad, a sound that's just similar to the wake word, and it starts recording.
And it could be recording anything.
Private conversations, family arguments, sensitive business calls, all of it.
And all that network chatter, it's not just an internal thing, it's a vulnerability.
It's a huge vulnerability. It's like leaving your front door unlocked. Constant network activity is basically an open invitation for hackers. The more data flying back and forth, the more chances there are for someone to get in.
And once the data is collected by the company, it doesn't just stay there.
Oh, no. The sources make it very clear. That data is shared, it's monetized, it goes to third parties, marketing firms, data brokers, often under these really vague consent agreements you clicked on years ago.
The synergy, guys.
Exactly. They combine your location data with your health data and your shopping habits to build that perfect, comprehensive, and frankly, invasive profile.
All of which suggests that the tech is just moving so much faster than any attempt to regulate it.
Years faster.
So what about the so-called solutions? The sources are pretty skeptical, calling them transparency theater.
They're very critical because the solutions often just help the companies, not you, take AI optimization.
Sounds good. More efficient.
But efficient at what?
Mm-hmm.
It's about making the data collection more precise, faster, and using less battery. The spying's just becoming more efficient.
And the transparency theater part, the better privacy menus.
It's the illusion of control. Companies give you these super complex, multi-layered menus.
Right.
So you feel like you've customized your settings, but it's so confusing that you probably haven't turned off the core data collection at all. It's an optical illusion.
And the lawmakers are just lost.
They're years behind. The whole nature of this kind of ambient data collection wasn't really what previous regulations were built for. It's
like GDPR.
Exactly. The sources were blunt. They said, remember when GDPR was supposed to save us? For this specific problem of home devices, it didn't.
That is a very sobering assessment. So if we can't rely on the companies or the government, what can we actually do?
We have to move from just being aware to, actively defending ourselves.
Okay, what's step one?
Step one, audit your life. Go through your devices, your apps, your operating systems, and check the permissions. If your smart light bulb app wants access to your microphone, that's a huge red flag.
Just ask why.
Yes, ask why.
And what about the devices where the mic and camera are the whole point?
For those, step two, go old school. Seriously. A piece of tape over a camera, a physical microphone cover, or just unplug the thing entirely when you're not using it.
Don't trust the software off switch.
Never trust the software switch when a physical one is an option.
And the third step?
Step three is be loud and annoying. We have to push back. Manufacturers and lawmakers, they do respond to sustained public pressure. If we all demand clear, verifiable standards for what passive mode is, eventually the industry has to listen.
And the sources had one last hot take.
They did. Sometimes the best smart home device is no smart home device at all.
A truly analog defense. Wow, this entire conversation has really shifted how I think about the convenience of all this stuff.
It should. It's the convenience trap. The benefits are real, but the cost is this constant automated collection of your personal life.
So understanding the mechanism.
Yeah.
The 3 million messages, the metadata.
It's about empowerment. Knowledge is power. It lets you use this technology more safely and, more smartly in your own home.
I agree. The future can't just be about a better user interface. It has to be about real transparency and a fundamental respect for privacy. So we urge you to go forth and question every single blinking light in your home. Ask yourself, what is that device really doing right now?
Because based on the behavioral portrait we've just discussed, they are definitely gathering enough data to start making their own judgments about your life choices.
Especially the 3 a.m. ones.